Yo, what's good? It's your boy Dot from Dot Me Now Coaching and Entertainment for Coaching. My links are down below. In today's video, I want to talk about how there's this issue, right? I'm gonna call it an issue, right? There's this misperception in the spiritual community that you need to be good enough in order to have certain experiences. And I'm gonna nip that in the butt and tell you guys what is actually required in order to have more spiritual experiences. Now, if that sounds good to you, like this video, subscribe if you're new. If you see the option to hype up this video, go ahead and do that because it really helps to support your boy. Without further ado, let's get right into this video. All right, so a lot of people, right, think that they need to evolve more or become a better person, right? They think that they need to pretty much let go of everything which is bad about them in order to become more open to spiritual experiences. Now, granted, becoming a quote unquote better person can help you, but that's not really what dictates your ability to have a spiritual experience. In fact, it's actually the other way around. Spiritual experiences are actually what help you to become a better person, right? This is why evil people can still have quote unquote spiritual experiences. Now, granted, I put quotes because they're not really spiritual, but more psychic. Like astral projection doesn't necessarily have to be spiritual. It's mainly a psychic phenomena, but it becomes spiritual when you do it and make it of your spirit, because you can interact with things that are of your spirit inside the astral, but you can also interact with things that are not of your spirit inside the astral. And you can actually use astral projection in ways that are not of your spirit. So when it comes to these experiences, right, whether it's astral projection or communicating with certain beings or like downloading information and channeling and stuff like that, you don't inherently have to be a good person. Now, being a good person can help you because if you're a good person, certain beings are more likely to interact with you and stuff like that. But even then, as long as your intent is good for the most part, most beings will interact with you. If they see that, okay, you're not the best person inside your life, but you recognize that you could become better and you actually want to become better, most of these beings help you to become better. They don't really care if you're if you have made several mistakes, but you're aware that you're making mistakes and you want to be better, that's all that's really needed to talk to higher vibrational beings. Of course, the higher your vibration is, the more access you'll have to higher vibrational beings. But you don't even need to communicate with higher vibrational beings to learn the different things that you want to learn. In fact, when it comes to the Holy Trinity, the Father, the Holy Spirit, and the Son, these are aspects of you which manifest through your unconscious mind, subconscious mind, and your conscious mind. And in fact, talking to these different parts of yourself is actually what would help you even more in order to evolve inside your spiritual journey, since you would literally be talking to your soul and gaining the wisdom of your soul, which is needed for your life at this current period of time. And you don't need to be a good person in order to interact with these parts of yourself. In fact, you could be super duper low vibrational and still interact with these parts of yourself. In fact, interacting with these parts of yourself is what would actually help you to become a higher vibrational being. I talked about this on my Patreon. If you want to see the video about how that Trinity manifests through you and what those different parts of yourself actually are, my Patreon link is down below. It's only $10. It's really cheap. On top of that, I have over 600 videos, all sauce. It's very worth it. Now, aside from me talking about my Patreon and stuff like that, right, I want to talk about what actually makes you more open to quote unquote spiritual experiences. Really, it's not about being a good person or even having a high vibration, but it's more about simply having the right methods. Because evil people have low vibrations, but they could still do things like telepathy. They could read your mind. Because here's the thing, right? I mentioned how, yes, being a good person will help you talk to other higher beings. But when it comes to things like fucking moving fire, right? or like telepathy, reading people's minds, or like leaving your body and stuff like that. It don't really matter what kind of person you are. The only thing that matters is having the right method. It's just understanding how that thing works. This is why there's evil people in this world who could move things with their mind. They could read you easily, do telepathy on you easy. They could channel certain beings that are open to being channeled by them. They can leave their body. They could do magic just fine, right? They can do all these things just fine, right? The only thing that they can't do is get in contact with higher beings that might teach them how to do what they want to do better. Or like with magic, they can't do certain spells that involve interacting with higher vibrational beings because those beings might not want to interact with them. But aside from that, they can still do a whole, but they could still manifest. They can do all that. You don't need to be a good person to do any of that. You just need the right method. Like, this is why you have so many rich people who wanted to become rich, and they became rich without becoming a good person. They just had the right method to become rich that you don't have and that you're not using. You see? In fact, when you think that I need to be a good person in order to have a certain what is that? Oh, that's my cat. Oh, she's so beautiful. Anyway, when you think I need to become a better person, this actually holds you back because you're telling yourself, oh, don't do the thing that I say I want to do until I become a better person. But even then, what constitutes a better person? You're literally holding yourself back because you have this certain place in you have this certain place inside yourself which you think you have to reach in order to have these spiritual doorways open up. Now, I'm saying spiritual because, once again, these experiences are more like psychic experiences. They don't have to be of the spirit. You can make them of the spirit, but they don't have to be of the spirit at all. You know what I'm saying? But it's just that most people call these things spiritual. So I'll use y'all lingo for now. But while using your lingo, I'll also tell you that your lingo is incorrect. You know what I'm saying? Anyway, my point is, right? Once you find out the right method to do something, you can do it. Like with leaving your body, right? I have a course down below about leaving your body. No matter what kind of person you are, you can leave your body. Raising your vibration does make it easier. You can access more places when you raise your vibration. But the simple act of getting out your body and doing the things that most people want to do, you can be a regular person, right? Like most of y'all aren't pure evil, right? Most of y'all don't want to be bad and do harm. And I'm saying that because a lot of people want to leave their body to talk to certain beings. Most of those beings will talk to you, even if you're not the best person, because most of the time you want to become better, and that's all they really care about. You see? So I really hope that you guys understand that if you guys want certain abilities, you should not worry about what kind of person you are, and instead you should seek out the best methods in order to do that which you want to do. If you want to leave your body, find the best methods. If you want to do telekinesis, find the best methods. If you want to do telepathy, find the best methods. That's all you really have to do. Even if it like when it comes to like the certain higher stuff like spiritual immortality and stuff like that, like becoming like a Taoist immortal, that you might need to become a better person for it, because you got to actually raise your vibration super high to be able to dematerialize and rematerialize. You got to be able to control your vibration, have it go high and low. But that's an actual spiritual thing. That's immortality, which is of the spirit. You see what I'm saying? So stuff like that, you got to become a better person. But on your journey to becoming like a spiritual immortal, you'll naturally become that, because you'll be in whatever kind of person you are open to higher experiences, which you may not even realize. If you just find those right methods, you'll have the higher experiences. And because you have those experiences, they'll likely help you to become a better person. And because you become a better person, you'll be open to even more stuff that does require you to be a quote unquote good person, which once again isn't that many things. Okay, so I hope you guys take this advice. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I love you all, and I'll catch you in my next video. Peace the freak out. You smell me.